Well, have you heard the latest? And apparently it's going to be some bloody good news for Nigel Farage, and that is because Reform UK might actually just snag their first Welsh Assembly election win next week, which is going to leave Labour feeling pretty crushed, isn't it? Especially with all the polls popping up left, right and centre. But what is going on and how can this be possible? Well, it's all kicking off apparently in Caerphilly, if I pronounced that right, after the previous Labour bloke, Hefin David, sadly passed away in August. And Nigel Farage appears to be eyeing this big win with a keen interest, shall we say. But just what do all the locals reckon about this? Well, according to a Savantian poll, Labour's support in the Valley has, unfortunately for Labour, taken a bit of a nosedive, along with, of course, Keir Starmer's popularity as a result. Reform and Plaid Cymru are neck and neck, with Reform sitting pretty at 42%, up from a massive 40 points since the last election. Plaid Cymru, though, they aren't far behind at 38%, haven't climbed 10 points. Meanwhile, of course, Labour's support, well, that has plummeted by 34 points to just 12, which makes you wonder, doesn't it, just why is Keir Starmer still our Prime Minister? Because remember, this is a place that apparently once boosted popular Labour people like Nye Bevan, Neil Kinnock and, of course, Michael Foot. Although, let's face it, the only Foot that is in Labour at the moment should be up Keir Starmer's bottom on the way out of Downing Street, in my opinion. But anyway, as for the Tories, they are down to a measly 4%, just ahead of the Greens, who are at 3%. But what did Reform reckon about it? Well, a Reform UK spokesperson was saying this poll is a bit of a boost, but we can't get too cocky. The Cardiff Baylot will do everything they can to stop real change in Caerphilly. But our message is clear. If you want change, you've got to vote for it, and that is a very good point, and one which Keir Starmer will find out in the next election, hopefully anyway. Hollister Luke Trial gave Labour a heads up, warning of course that their Welsh woes are like a Lib Dem Reform combo that is giving the Tories a hard time in southern England. And because of that, the election map is getting a major makeover. But back in September, Reform's chairman, who is now Dr. David Bull, told the Express that they're going all out for this election as they gear up for next May. Laura Annie Jones, Reform UK's sole Schneid member right now, added, Labour's let Caerphilly down for over 25 years and the polls are clear. We've got a real shot at winning this Labour stronghold. Labour's broken Wales, but Reform will fix it. And polls keep hinting at Starmer might face a bit of a rough ride in the nationwide Schneid elections next May, with Labour possibly losing power for the first time since the Assembly kicked off in 1999. And in May, a YouGov poll showed that Plaid Cymru lead in Wales at 30%, with Reform hot on their tails at 25%. But of course, that appears to have now changed the other way round, and that is going to be a massive big achievement for a very new party, because that is what Reform is at the moment, isn't it? Either way, though, as Nigel Farage often says, once every 100 years or so, it appears that the top two parties change, or something like that, he says, and he has got a very good point. And this time, in the next election, actual big election, 2029, it could be Labour who is on his way out, and Reform, Nigel Farage, will be hopefully our next Prime Minister. Especially, of course, if Reform UK keep getting big wins like this one. But anyway, what do you all reckon about this? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll be back very soon with some more videos. So, click that subscribe button down as you don't miss my next one.